How are you doing, guys? It's Ryu. Today I'll show you the examples of how to use the Japanese particles wa and ga. In my previous video, I showed you guys the difference between the particle wa and ga and showed you guys how to use them. Thank you very much for the comments and reactions, by the way. However, I wasn't really able to talk about the examples for these particles. So in this video, I decided to share more examples with you to help you understand how to use those particles more. As similar to my previous video, I talk about adjectives and verbs in this one too. The basic rule is the use of wa and ga will depend on the thing you wanna specify in your sentence. If the thing you want to emphasize is after the particle, use wa, and if it's before, use ga. If you say hoshi wa kirei, kirei is what you like to emphasize, and it sounds like the stars are beautiful in general. However, if you say hoshi ga kirei, it sounds like you are emphasizing the subject hoshi. In this situation, we usually say ano hoshi ga kirei. That star is beautiful, as it tends to be more specific. How about this one? パソコンは高い Computers are expensive. Or このパソコンが高い This computer is expensive. You are looking at some options and you are saying this one computer is expensive. In this situation, が is more natural to say. 子供は賢い Children are smart. この子供が賢いThis specific kid is smart. 中華料理は美味しい Chinese food is delicious. 中華料理が美味しい You have other options including Chinese, French, and Spanish. And then you want to emphasize that Chinese food is delicious. And in this situation, 中華料理が美味しい to be more specific. Japanese is difficult. 日本語は難しい But if you say 日本語が難しい as same as the previous example, you are talking about other languages, but you try to say Japanese is difficult as compared to the other languages. フェラーリは速い Ferrari is fast. どの車が速い フェラーリが速いよ Which car is fast? Ferrari is fast. スマホは便利 Smartphone is useful. But このスマホが便利 This specific smartphone is useful. 大阪は遠い Osaka is far. 大阪が遠い It doesn't sound natural, so you should go with 大阪は遠い in this situation. カレーは美味しい Curry is delicious. どのカレーが美味しい Which curry is delicious? このカレーが美味しいよ This curry is delicious. 水は冷たい Water is cold. この水が冷たい This water is cold. 首が痛い My neck hurts. 沖縄の海はきれい The ocean in Okinawa is beautiful. どこの海がきれい Which ocean is beautiful? 沖縄の海がきれいだよ The ocean in Okinawa is beautiful. 犬はかわいい Dogs are cute. この犬がかわいい This dog is cute. Basically, we use ga before verbs like 僕が行く or 彼が来る. Note that this is a basic form. On the other hand, if you use wa before verbs, it may sound like you are excluding your subject, and usually you will have a follow-up sentence to complete the whole thought. For example, 僕が行く I'll go sounds like a normal sentence. However, if you say 僕は行く it usually sounds like you are separating the subject from the follow-up statement, and we tend to expect something to follow after 僕は行く For example, 僕は行くけど彼は行かない僕は行く彼女も行く Something like that. たけしが書くたけし writes たけしは書いて僕は話す Takeshi writes and I talk. 友達が立った。My friend stood up. 友達は立った。けど僕は座った。My friend stood up, but I sat down. 彼女が運転する。She drives. 彼女は運転する。僕は隣に座る。She drives, and I sit next to her. 先生が教える。The teacher teaches. 先生は教える。生徒は学ぶ。The teacher teaches, and students learn. 彼女は勉強したけど僕は遊んだ。She studied, but I hang up. 妹は楽しんだけど僕は違った。My sister enjoyed, but I didn't. あいつは払った。僕も払った。He paid, and I paid too. I didn't talk about this in the previous video, but if it's a 5W1H question,
何、いつ、どこ、誰、なぜ、and どうやって。In Japanese, we call them 5W1H, which stands for 5 questions beginning with W and a question beginning with H.
The particles tend to be ga, so yeah, make sure to remember this. 何が食べたい? What do you wanna eat? どこが間違ってる? What's wrong? どっちがいい? Which do you prefer? 誰がやったの? Who did this? いつがいい? When are you available? And that's it for today's video. So today I showed you guys examples of the Japanese particles wa and ga, and today I focused more on the examples. So yeah, I hope it helps a bit. If you already subscribed to my channel, thank you very much for watching my previous videos. I really appreciate it. But if you are new to this channel, please check my previous videos out. I teach Japanese like this video and show the Japanese cultures. So if you are interested, please feel free to check them out. As always, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up or subscribe, turn on notification. Thank you very much for watching, you guys. I'll see you in the next video.